This week, Mighty Joe Young came out December 25th, 1998 from Disney, no less. So you're thinking with Disney, you can't do wrong, you can't do bad, it's Disney. Gonna say off the bat, the movie as an adult, now this is very interesting because I asked my daughter, Maddie, who's 6, like, hey, come watch this movie with me, I think you're gonna like it. I kid you not, 20 minutes in, she's like,
this is boring, bye.
and I'm like, well, I'm still gonna watch this amazing movie with the late Bill Paxton and Charlize Theron. You have fun doing it, what you're doing. There were several moments in the movie where I was kind of getting a little bored. It's kind of like, I don't remember it being this boring. But then I had to think to myself, I was also 10 or 11 around there when it came out. So the interest of it was a lot more grabby, I guess. A more kid-friendly version of King Kong. Movie, to me, kind of aged a little well. There were certain scenes with Joe where I'm kind of like, is it an animatronic or maybe kind of the Power Ranger thing where it's a guy in a costume? Some stuff I could tell was CG. Looking at it, like, if it came out today, I could buy into it.
I wasn't really excited about this movie going in, and I'm sure that's going to weigh on my opinion of the movie. I didn't want to watch this movie. One, I wasn't the target audience. I didn't watch it when I was a kid. I have no nostalgic factor for this movie at all. While I am a fan of Charlize Theron and Bill Paxton, it's not like one of my favorite actors or actresses where I have to see everything they're in, so I didn't have that draw to it. I didn't really have a reason to be excited about Mighty Joe Young. That being said, it's a pretty mediocre movie in my mind. It has that 90s aspect to it where it seems to always happen, where the script is written and there's holes everywhere, where you kind of go, wouldn't they have heard that? Wouldn't there be a guard there? Wouldn't anybody care about that? Why did they have access last scene, but this scene they've got to sneak in? Just stupid stuff like that drives me crazy. And it's just poor writing. There's no reason they had to do that. The story is pretty straightforward, as you probably know. Gorilla in the jungle, brought to a preserve, poachers come back and start to wreak havoc with them, and then everybody goes from loving the monkey to wanting to kill the monkey in the matter of 2 seconds. I don't know if that's supposed to be commentary on humanity. I guess it's kind of realistic.
Mighty Joe Young, the remake from Disney, it's sort of a kid's version of King Kong. I can say that as an adult watching this film, and I'm thinking, wow, this is a really family-friendly film. And not necessarily in the good way of like the whole family enjoys it, more like you can take your family and it's appropriate for the kids, and the kids might enjoy it. But if you're over the age of like 17, you're probably not that invested in these characters. It's a Disney film, so they try and stick with the tried and true method of, hey, let's take a character and kill off one of their parents. Hey, maybe even both. No, let's double it. Let's have the gorilla also lose its parents, and it'll team up with the kid that lost his parents. Pure gold, right? And it didn't quite work that way. There are some sequences that are supposed to be meaningful, provide a sense of danger, but because it's all filmed in a very family-friendly way, pretty much robs it of any actual peril or any actual seriousness or danger.
Typical 90s acting, oh my god, like at the end on the little arcade amusement little park place on the wharf or whatever, you know, just the whole, look, oh no! And I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, like that's typical 90s exclamations of something as you say the thing and like point and everyone's like, flabbergasted. Although, I'm gonna give the major point to the cop in the end who shows up and he's ordering them to shoot the monkey, which we're gonna backtrack for a second. The whole entire time it's, we gotta save Joe, we gotta preserve Joe. This is a rare animal find in the animal kingdom. We gotta preserve it. So Bill Paxton convinces Charlize Theron to bring Joe to California, and then they're like, oh yeah, you know, we've got the monkey, you know, we've got him and everything. And then all of a sudden he freaks out because these poachers show up. So then he freaks out and he starts thrashing on things. Oh, now he's dangerous. Now we gotta kill him. It went from we have to save and protect him to kill him. It like went from 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds flat. So back to the cop. Then at the end of the movie when he's gonna go save the little boy in the Ferris wheel, the cop's like, hold your fire. I'm like, this is a smart cop. This is probably one of the most redeeming things of this movie. This cop is like, hold your fire, guys. Because this cop is thinking, if I kill this monkey and the kid dies, they're all gonna hate me. But if I don't kill this monkey and he saves the kid, I'm a hero. If I don't kill the monkey or the gorilla, he saves the kid, but they both die, I can blame it on the gorilla. So I'm still a hero either way. I see where the cop was going with this.
The environmentalists or the preservationists in this movie weren't really preservationists at all, and that is weird. I feel that this movie was aimed at preteens. I feel that the Charlize Theron character had a lot of Disney princess aspects about her. Lived in the jungle, coming into our world, the modern world, and learning about the modern world, and falling in love, and all that aspects you see, and you kind of have that story arc with her. I do believe that the Charlize Theron character and Bill Paxton's character, which I don't remember their names, which says something, those two characters were written well enough where I believed their arcs. I believed where they started. I believed where they ended. It made sense. I can't say that for every character surrounding them. There were side characters that did stuff that didn't make any sense based off of what we learned about them.
Mighty Joe Young, the character, looks pretty amazing. Rick Baker, one of cinema's greatest special effects masters, did the special effects for Mighty Joe Young, and it holds up really well. I was honestly impressed all these years later looking at it and saying, I don't truly know how they did this, but it looks really good, and the character is strong, with the exception of a lot of roaring. Just constantly, hey, here's Mighty Joe Young, he roars. Whoa, cool. 20, 30 times later, I'm like, yeah, okay. And now he's roaring on Man's Chinese Theater, and now he's roaring on a Ferris wheel, and now he's roaring down the freeway. There's some fun to be had from this force of nature coming into the big city and clashing. But the people in the big city are all very 90s dated. Especially really enjoyed the punchline where a character just says, wow, that's fat. I'm assuming he meant P-H-A-T. So definitely not quite holding up on the relevant scale there.
This is where Disney tapped into the Disney magic. Little kid is like, here, I got like, a couple bucks for my birthday for Joe. And the cop comes up and is like, yeah, for Joe. Come on, guys, let's give this some money. So at the end of the movie, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm an adult now. It's kind of like the movie was very draggy through. I mean, honestly, I think probably the thrill of it was getting to see, the late Bill Paxton and something when he was younger. So that was nice to see. Charlize's age phenomenally beautifully. Oh my god. Like, you can't even tell, like, age has even touched her. But the fact that my own kid, my 6-year-old, the target audience of what this movie was directed to, didn't want to watch it. She sat through E.T., was more interested in E.T. than Mighty Joe Young, which I found that very interesting. So at the end of it, I thought to myself, definitely not the target demographic children were, but even this child didn't particularly want to see it, preferred E.T. over this. It's not like it's a horribly bad movie. There are some decent qualities to it with some of the locations and some of the, like I said, I don't know if the gorilla was animatronic, costume, or CG. But at the end of the day, as an adult, it's going to be a frustrating watch. You're just going to be like, why am I watching this?
The bad guys were just pure freaking evil, especially the main guy missing the fingers. That guy was just pure evil, mustache twirling evil, as I call it. You're getting towards the end of the movie and you're like, okay, I get this guy. I get him. He's all about money. Oh no, he's just up the evil again by smacking his henchmen. Okay, so this guy's just pure evil. Then you have the end of the movie where he's fallen off the Ferris wheel. You think he might be dead, and then he's not dead, but he was not breathing for so long. I think they stretched the scene out a little too long for it to work. I actually said I was watching it with somebody, and I actually turned and said, oh yeah, he's definitely dead. This has been way too long. And then he reaches over, and I'm like, are you kidding me? It's just, I understand that's a trope, but you've got to do the trope well for it to work, and I don't think they did it well at all. They just milked it. So the acting in this movie, it's a 90s movie. I don't expect a whole lot from acting from a 90s kids Disney movie. There are some scenes in this movie that hit rock bottom. There are some lines that are delivered. I will use one example that I found especially hilarious. Would be the child stuck in the Ferris wheel. That is literally going, mommy, mommy, help me, mommy. And the way he's saying it is grating and annoying. Not his proper age. It didn't work at all. Plus, I don't know about you, but if I was stuck in a Ferris wheel, which I never would be because I'm scared of heights, and a giant monkey came up to get me, I would probably hesitate a little longer than that kid did before jumping into his hand. That's pretty scary. Everybody seems to trust this monkey. I mean, I guess it's you trust the monkey until he gets really mad and then you want to kill the monkey, so I guess it fits with the story.
Yeah, that kid was like 10 years old, right?
I know! He was like, why do you like it? That was so
I
wrong.
called my mom mommy when I was like 7.
Exactly! I also have to mention the death of the villain. I am all for Disney movies showing gruesome deaths. I have no problem with it. It was a PG rating. It was aimed towards preteens, I'm assuming. So it didn't shock me too much. When he fell onto the wires. I don't know if it was necessary. I don't know if they really needed to show that. It seemed like the rest of the movie was kind of taming away from the violence and kind of pulling punches. Even the scene where Joe gets loose in the tent at the gala was real slapstick. I mean, it was cheesy. It almost looked like a comedy routine where the one guy slips and shoots the other guy with a tranquilizer and someone's face first into the food, and it was just silly. So for them to actually show his death, although I did want to see him die, it just seemed like it was overkill.
It almost seemed to be targeted at not just young kids, but young girls, because there's a whole subplot with Charlize Theron where she gets to go to a gala and she wears the white dress that sort of is a little bit of an homage to Fay Wray from the original King Kong. As a male, I found very little interest in her storyline, even though she's one of our greatest actors, along with Bill Paxton, who I love Bill Paxton, but I don't really think that he has the leading man chops for this specific role. He kind of comes at it from a almost smarmy angle, just a little too unserious about it. Doesn't quite have the charmed ruggedness to pull off this specific role and keep you engaged. Ultimately, this kind of reminded me of that little text at the bottom of a movie rating. So if it says PG for mild peril, I feel like this movie could best be summed up as mild peril. So ultimately, 5 out of 10.
I would give it a 6 out of 10. Just because some of the dialogue just was like, oh my God, look! All the points for the cop, for Joe Young being Joe Young. It's a family-friendly movie. Can't go wrong with Disney. Although maybe this one was a swing and a miss.
So I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 10. If you were in the target audience, you might take more out of it than I did, but I don't feel this is a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. I feel that it's weak. The character points are weak. The way the story is written and its fidelity is extremely weak, and the villain's just one-dimensional. Charlize Theron was cute, though.
Go on ahead and shoot some suggestions, some comments down below. What did you think of Mighty Joe Young, and/or what would you like us to review and watch as a throwback? Plenty of space down there. Go ahead and like this video and favorite it. Subscribe. When you do that, you get more throwbacks like this, plus the regular movie reviews that we do every week, plus unboxing videos and other things that we are working on, I promise you. And remember, you heard it here at The Source.